I have a question that I need your opinion on. So, always be observant. It's been a rough weekend. I hope you guys had a better weekend than I did, and it's nothing that anybody did. It's just, I think it was a culmination of things, and I wasn't really able to handle it. But things are looking better. Anyway, so I had some observations about my daughter, and as most of you know, or if you're new here with me, my daughter is supposedly, I don't like using these words, but on the spectrum, um, developmentally delayed. Okay, so that means processing things around her, her senses are more sensitive. So keep that in mind as I keep talking. And she her nervous system and her input of the environment around her feels and sounds different to her. Okay, so with that in mind, and I'm sure all of you know someone who is autistic or delayed or handicapped or anything, but I'm going to speak specifically about the children and people, adults who are on the spectrum. So here's my observations. My daughter has as she's gotten older, she's gotten better with wearing shoes, okay? So here's the premise. Do people with delays or sensory processing really process how they're supposed to, but the societal norm says otherwise because instead they want us, and you fill in the blanks, they want us a certain way. And they make the culture and the world around us not in a way that's conducive to being as healthy and as successful and as uplifted as we could be. Okay, so back to the shoes. As my daughter's gotten older, she's gotten better with wearing shoes. We have to wear shoes where we go because, well, around here where we live, you know, concrete and asphalt are all over. But we do get in the grass. However, she always used to take her shoes and socks off as a toddler and a preschooler, okay? So she wanted to be barefoot. Long story short, she wanted to be barefoot. She still enjoys being barefoot versus wearing shoes. She is all about tactile feelings. So she likes, sorry for the ums, she enjoys playing in dirt and sand and water and bubbles, and she enjoys feeling the earth, okay? She, a few times in her life in the recent years, I've seen her stop and just touch a tree or hug a tree. She enjoys looking at bugs and looking at animals, and she likes to talk to the bugs, and she's killed a couple bugs because she wanted to like play with them, but she ended up like smushing them. Anyways, okay, stay with me. She is sensitive to crowds, and she's sensitive to loud noises. I recently heard how we're supposed to eat with our hands, and we know that the Western culture has taken that away and has said it's not proper etiquette to eat with our fingers and hands, but in the Middle East and Africa and places like that, they do. My daughter, because of her sensory issues, eats with her hands, but I recently, and not all the time, but she'd prefer, she wouldn't mind eating everything with her hands. But I heard recently that we should eat with our hands because it's input to our system and how our body takes in food. Okay. What else can I think of? All right, I think that's mainly what I wanted to touch on. Um, there's other things I'm sure my daughter enjoys that I'm forgetting. So this is my point. She touching trees, going barefoot, touching the earth, feeling things with her hands, eating with her hands, avoiding chaotic environments, understanding she has a high stress level of feelings, and she also has deep feelings and strong feelings, negative and positive. She seems to be, this is what I want you to comment on, these children and adults that are more sensitive and enjoy the things that nature and our Heavenly Father has given us to divulge in, like the dirt and feeling things with our bare feet and grounding and things like that. They seek those things, but yet are told they are developmentally delayed. Whereas people who don't seek out those things are normal. So again, are they inverting? They're saying she lacks certain things, but yet she exhibits and has naturally tendencies that are more healthy and beneficial for her body than whatever we do as a society, to say, oh, wear shoes when you go outside, and stay away from bugs, and it's okay to be in a crowd, and loud noises, just got to get used to them. And do you see where I'm going with this? I'm kind of saying it in a roundabout way, and I'm sorry, I'm not, if I'm not being very I'm kind of beating around the bush with it, and I'm not finding my right words. So people would say she is slow, or even though she's quick, super observant, she's very smart, but slow to catch on to societal norms for her age and things like that. But she is, and others like her are more normal, I think, if we think differently of how things could be, until evil messed it all up and inverted it and switched everything. She's actually more in tune with things around her and the earth and spiritually and her body than we are, who have been, given the whats when we were younger, or had them, or have, had different environmental things impact how we are. So, what do you think? The more I see what she seeks out to do, the more I think that should be the normal. And I even remember today, since I just found out about eating with your hands, I usually say, please use your spoon or fork. But at home, I shouldn't care if she eats with her hands. It's good for her. And it's good for all of us. But these people who society sees as atypical are probably more typical, meaning they should be typical in the way our Heavenly Father probably intended us to be: sensitive, enhancement of hearing, smelling, seeing, and touching the world around us, and things like that. And of course, they've inverted it. So that's my thought for the day. Blessings, Shabbat Shalom, and I'll try to get to Isaiah soon.